Well, I never thought that I would be telling you this, but astrology really changed my life. Before you label me off as a weirdo, let me explain. Because astrology is probably not what you think it is. I am not here to talk about the horoscope on the newspaper or the icebreaker thingy at the party, like, what's your sign? I'm a Scorpio, by the way, if you are curious. But what I'm talking about is astrology as it was originally intended. It is actually an ancient symbolic language and a healing of art. You know what? Growing up, I always think that life means that you grow up, you go to school, you go to college, you go to university, and then you get a job, and then you make money, and then you have a family, and then you get old, and then you die. That's it. And at that point, I feel like my life has become meaningless. I feel like my energy for life started to fade. I feel very depressed and demotivated for all the time. I was always asking the major questions like, who am I? What am I doing here? And what is the purpose? And what is the exact purpose of my life? And then, the astrology has the answers. And with that, I believe that astrologers can actually determine someone's future based on their zodiac signs. Firstly, what is astrology? Well, it is actually an ancient beliefs and thoughts about how incidences on Earth are relevant to the movement and the location of the planets, sun, and stars. And based on my slide itself, you can see that there are 12 astrological signs consist of Leo, Capricorn, Sagittarius, Pisces, Scorpio, and many more. Each one of these astrological signs, it has its own personality characteristics that are related to it, including both positive and negative characteristics. The astrologers can actually predict and expect that these characteristics to be associated with the astrological signs based on the movements and the locations of the sun, planets, and moon. I know that astrology, it is actually often discredited because it is said to be a part of their pseudoscience. But I am here to tell you that the answers to the problems that we face today, it is not 100% related to the hard and reductionist sciences. Okay, let me get back to my main point. Why? Why astrologers can actually determine someone's future? It is because they are able to guide people to boost up their confidence and to decrease their weaknesses. Why, you may ask? It is because we, as a human, we are born with a certain birth chart that contains the blueprint of our life. And we have the free will to direct our life within that blueprint. And I strongly believe that even so-called negative birth chart can actually turn into a positive outcome. Because you know why? Because no one in this world are fated to fail. That's it. Based on my slide, you can see that there's a portrait of a man, and that man is David Abrams. David Abrams is actually a cultural ecologist and a philosopher that came up with the idea of more than human world. He presents his idea saying that a human can't actually know themselves unless they enter into a relationship with that which is not human. And astrology can give us a direct connection and way to relate it to that more than human world. Let's move on to my next point. The astrology can actually give us an idea of what our energy means based on the birth chart. If you already know what your energy means when you came into this world, then you can have a direct to relate to your life based on your energy. For example, you may decide to pursue your interest in arts if you have Venus in Pisces with a favorable chart, with a favorable aspects, and these are actually all the areas that you are able to control it. However, people nowadays have the sense of empowerment, knowing that they now know that they can decide how to live their life to the fullest based on their amazing energy. Because each one of us is very unique and beautiful. It is just the matter of understanding your own beauty. Believe it or not, astrology can actually tell us more than our personality. Its use can be very tangible and practical. Even the farmers and the sailors use astrology to grow fruits and to navigate the seas. And even our ancient Egyptian ancestor will look into the sky and look for that one star in particular called Sirius. Because you know why? Because they knew when Sirius started to rise, that means the Nile River was getting ready to flood. And with that information, they can take a precaution steps on the ground. Last but not least, I know that most of us didn't know that astrology is actually a huge field, and it contains various types of branch, and one of it is iatromathematics. Iatromathematics is performed by the medical astrologers to help people to understand what parts of their body that they may struggle with and how to treat the disease before it's too late. For example, people who are born under the Leo stars may think that the only thing that they have to do is to making sure that they're simply taking care of their general health. But if you look closer to their date and time when they were born, it may have a heavy influence from the Sun and the Mercury, which means that they may probably have an issue with their eyes health, as well as their nervous system, including the problems with the brain. And with that, this is why it is very important having a full natal reading by the medical astrologers, so that you can make sure that you can tackling all the possible potential pitfalls. You know what? The real reason that I'm telling you this is because through astrology, I have learned to see my life reflected through a magical landscape around me. And I want people to experience the magic, because you know why? Because life on earth is truly astounding. So I invite you to open your sense, because you know why? Because the cosmic insight is constantly raining down on us for all the time, just waiting for us to actually realize it. So please open yourself to that. I personally want to live in a world where we turn off the lights, or where we turn off our phone and then we go out together with each other and look into the sky and then tell stories. That's it. That is the life that I want to live. So join me. Start to engage with the sky. Notice the landscape around you. Write down every insight that you receive from the nature and the sky. Let's shine our lights and find out where we belong to. And together, we can actually emerge into something new that we don't know currently. But you know what? It is actually a perfect design that is already written in the sky. Thank you.